Hi, I'm Danielle. Thank you so much for joining me in this course. My intention for this course is to share techniques with you that will help you refocus an active mind, relax a stressed body, and reconnect with yourself, which will in turn help you reconnect with others, your loved ones, your acquaintances, everyone. And I hope that these techniques can benefit you not only today, but for the rest of your life, because these are techniques that you can use and practice throughout a busy lifestyle. All of these techniques that we're going to use incorporate mindfulness. Mindfulness is a term that basically means non-judgmental, focused awareness. So what we're going to do is we're going to train the brain to focus on techniques so that we shut off all that active chatter and excessive worry and tap into moments of stillness and calm throughout the day. Let's say when you're waiting in line at a grocery store, when you're walking to work, when you are walking anywhere, when you're breathing. One of the easiest techniques we're going to use is our breath. We breathe all day long. So this is something that you can tap into multiple times throughout the day. Mindfulness is really important for the brain because what tends to fire together, neurons that fire together, wire together. So just like people say practice makes perfect, it's true. It's literally true for our brains. Because when you practice a skill over and over and over, it starts to become easier, you start to be more efficient at it, you start to be able to just tap into it whenever you need it. And that's the important thing about this course. The practices I show you are simple enough to incorporate into your life, but you have to practice them. And I'm going to show you such a variety of techniques using various arts and movement and incorporating mindfulness so that you can say, you know what, I like this technique, and this technique. I'll use those. And that's fine. You don't have to love all of the techniques, but I want you to find what works for you, because what works for you works. What works, works, and you just have to start being able to incorporate it into your life and practicing it. Mindfulness meditation can be really powerful for the brain by stimulating the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex is associated with our personality and our ability to make executive decisions. So, when we are in a moment of stress and our bodies react in stress in ways that I'll describe in the next segment, our blood rushes from our prefrontal cortex to the back reptilian brain to essentially keep our vital organs functioning and keep us alive. But this isn't good for our personality, our decision making, our reactivity, right? So a lot of times when we see somebody in high states of stress, we think they aren't acting like themselves. And it's true because the blood is rushing away from their prefrontal cortex. But studies have been shown that all of these techniques, incorporating mindfulness, stimulates the prefrontal cortex, makes us more aware of our surroundings, more self-reflective, and more able to make executive decisions in a calm and rational way. So it's all beneficial for us, but practice makes perfect. And I want to really focus on the fact that the practice is more important than the product. So let's say we do a writing technique and you're like, oh, my writing's terrible. Try not to judge it. It's more about the practice so that we're getting our brain working in a different way. We're getting into that flow state. We're training the brain to refocus in a different way than what you come up with. You don't have to create masterpieces here. We're just more focused on the practice than the product. So let's get started. Something really simple and easy to start working into your day is using the breath. Now, mindfulness breathing typically asks us to just focus on the breath and just observe it going in and observe it going out. But if you have an active mind like me, it's hard to stay focused on that for longer than a few breaths. So we're going to alter it just a little bit. We're going to focus on our breath going in, and we're going to focus on our breath going out. We're going to focus on our breath going in and out. but start to lengthen the exhale. See how long you can go. And then inhale fully. Relax the neck and shoulders and exhale, lengthening the exhale. Kind of like you're blowing through a straw. See how long you can go. And we're going to do that again. Inhaling fully. Relaxing the neck and shoulders and exhaling as long as possible. Notice what happens with the mind when we're doing that. When we're actively focusing on a technique, our mind stills. Our focus is on the technique. It's not easy to think about other things. It's not easy to stay in that constant loop of worry and concern and just reenacting things that already happened. Maybe I'm telling you too much about myself, but that's the way I am. So it just helps you to shut all that off and maintain a focus on stillness, even if it's active, by using the breath for a couple of moments. And personally, I feel like 30 seconds of calm is better than 30 more seconds of stress. So please start using that. You can do it anytime, when you're watching TV, when you're driving. I think that a really good time to use this technique is when you're at a red light, because we have to be at a red light anyway. There's nothing else that we have to do. We don't have to be in a state of stress at the red light. So take that opportunity to just focus on lengthening your exhales, to refocus the mind, calm the body. And then when the light turns green, you're ready to go. I also use this to help me sleep at night. So if you have trouble getting to sleep and turning off an active mind, this is really good for that. Sometimes it takes a little longer than 3 breaths. Sometimes for me, it takes more like 10. So just keep that in mind. Just maintaining that focus on lengthening the breath can really help. And I hope you enjoy it. Start using it, and I'll see you in the next segment.